This is Charleston's retirement coach, Brandon Bowen.
I wanted to ask you about thinking about our goals. We got to have our income streams set up to help us live out our goals. One of the things that a lot of retirees, no matter if you've got $5 million, if you've got $10 million, you've been working, you've been paying into the Social Security system, you want your benefits. And the idea about what's going to happen with our benefits is the big question mark so many of us have, Brandon.
Yes.
The team at Barron's Roundtable was actually talking about how they believe Congress is going to come up with a short-term answer for baby boomers, but that there's going to come a point when benefits will suffer. Here is a bit of that conversation.
Who gets screwed on Social Security? Because someone's going to, right? Yeah. There's not enough money there. Eventually, something will have to be done about it. Let's create a scenario. Let's say that we're talking about a 52-year-old man. Is he going to get a cut in his Social Security going forward, or is he going to be safe? Who's going to get that cut?
I think our hypothetical 52-year-old is just fine, because the dividing line is late 40s. Yeah. So anyone younger than that is probably going to get a benefit reduction. Anyone older than that is probably going to be grandfathered into the current benefit structure.
Anybody else feel like we're playing a game of Survivor with Social Security?
Yes.
Anybody under the age of 50 is going to be voted off the island pretty soon. All right, Brandon. So what can we do to make up for a loss in income if Social Security does have to cut back on benefits, and some of us feel that?
Mm-hmm. So I completely agree with what they said.
Really?
To the age. So so if you're I'm 46, and so like I have always thought, okay, if you're under 50, like in my group, like they said, you're screwed.
And my husband and I, I'm turning 46 in September, and I was saying the same thing. I was talking to my parents about it. I said, Kyle and I are not planning on having Social Security, or if we do, we'll probably have something, but it's not going to be significant.
Yes. I say, so they've got to raise the filing ages. I think we're going to see something like early at 65, then 70, and then 75 for your full retirement, something like that, right? We're living longer, health, longevity, that kind of thing. But yes, I know for me, I'm not planning on, and when I meet with younger people in the office here, I say, hey, if there's something, that's just going to be gravy, but we've got to work on, that's right. We've got to put our own plans together here for income.
Yep. Agreed.
But if you're over 50, and they said 52, that hypothetical person, if you're over 50, then I would say let's proceed cautiously.
Okay. All right.
If you're in those 50s, if you're in your 60s, I mean, you're going to be fine. I think, you can't get a politician to vote for something, to make changes for somebody who's about to file for Social Security.
Right. That's right.
There's no political will for that, and so you're going to be fine. But if you're mid 50s, here's what I say. I say let's proceed cautiously, and what that means is number one, we've got to understand the rules. Okay, we've got to understand the rules. Which, by the way, there are 2,728 rules to keep in mind.
Terrific. Right? So simple. So easy.
Yes, and then you got to pick one of the 678 ways to file. It's crazy. Yeah. It's like, how do because you can't go ask the Social Security agent, when you call them up or go into the Social Security office, right? Mm-hmm. You can't ask them. They don't have a financial license. They're not licensed to give financial advice. Mm-hmm. Oh, Heather, let me tell you about some clients of mine. Okay, so they are clients. Okay. They've been clients for about 5-6 years, if I remember correctly. Well, they came in. They came in for a kind of an annual review. This is about just under a year ago. We're updating a few things on their portfolio, all the stuff we've got going on, and so she makes the comment like, "Well, Brandon, by the way, I went ahead and filed for my Social Security because it's like $300." And she was just like wanting me just to FYI, just to know that, right?
Like that's what she was going to be getting every month?
Yes.
Okay.
And that she went ahead and started. I said, what, wait a minute. What? You went ahead and filed? And she goes, yes, I went ahead and filed because I looked at my statement and it's nothing. I'm getting, she worked out of the country for a while.
Okay.
And then only had a few quarters here stateside. And so she was like, I don't have a big benefit. So I figured, what the heck? Why not? I could use this $300.
Okay.
And I said, hang on. When did you do that? How far back? Right. Because I know the mistake she just made.
Okay.
Right. She did not understand the spousal benefit. And I see this a lot of time. I mean, I see this often here, even my wealthy clients. I mean, so don't think like that, hey, this is a dumb mistake, but she did not understand that she was entitled to half of his benefit. Okay. Mm-hmm. He was a federal employee for a long time under the FERS system there. So he's got a FERS pension. He's got a nice Social Security. He's got a nice TSP, right? So she's entitled to, because she was 66 years old. The problem was, though, he hadn't started his benefit. Okay. So when she went to the office, they told her, which was right, they told her that all she could do was file on her own benefit. They did not know to ask the question, hey, are you married? Do you have a spouse? I see what age you are. When he files, you've got this available. So bottom line, I told her, go back, leave here, go back right now. There's actually a way to do a do-over.
I was going to say, because there's a time limit on that, right?
There is.
Okay.
1 year. There's a 1 year time limit on this thing.
And when had she done it versus when she told you about it?
Right. So we were still within the window.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like,
get
please.
your butt back to the
Yes. I was like, you're dismissed. Go leave this meeting and email me, call me. What did they say? All this stuff. Right. So we were able to fix that. Cause that was savings. She's now getting $1,500.
Wow. She was getting $300 just because she didn't know. And now she's getting $1,500 a month. I mean, that is, do the quick math for me. 12 times $1,500.
Yes. So $1,200 more a month is $14,400 for the year that we just found her. Wow. That she was walking right past, so this is why I'm saying you've got to understand the rules.
Yeah.
Okay. You listening, are you divorced? There's divorce benefits. If you can still file on your ex. Okay. There's so many things that a lot of people don't know. Wow. Maybe your ex was a high income earner. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so you're not taking money from her or him or whatever, but you're entitled to all these options. Okay. So we've got to understand what is available there, and then maximize that Social Security benefit. Okay. Depending on your age, when you retire, and how that works with everything. And so once you do that, I want to then think of that Social Security. Then I want to lay right next to it is another little, your Social Security is a government pension, if you will. Okay. I like to, with air quotes, a government pension. Now, a lot of people like a little bit more guaranteed income in retirement. Okay. Income is the number one. I like to say the number one, the number two, the number three goal you should have in retirement is income. That is the most important thing, because you can retire, you can do the things you want to do when you know that you've got a consistent, steady income stream coming in, right?
Right.
So once you maximize that Social Security, then if you don't have an old school pension, well, let's go out and shop around and find you and set up maybe a private pension. Okay. And what we do there is maybe we take some of your tax deferred money from your 401k, IRA, and we look at ways to build a nice income plan, a nice foundation for you to build, your retirement dreams upon. Okay. So once you have that's our second step. First was maximize Social Security. Second is then build the other income streams that might be with an annuity or dividend portfolios or structured notes. There's all kind of things that we can use in this space. Okay. And then the third thing would be then with your remaining money that you have available. Gosh, that's the fun stuff. That's where we can still go and pursue growth. We can pursue liquidity. Right? We can look at individual stock portfolios. We can look at, ultra low cost ETF models. And that's the money where we might pull out maybe some gains or some dividends have in there. And I like to say that's where, if Social Security is cut down the road or reduced by 33%, like it says on your statement, well, we have a portfolio. We've got a bucket here that can produce potentially nice dividends for you, nice income streams, or where we have options. We've got kind of like some emergency strategies and emergency buckets set aside there. And we've been growing it between now and then too. Okay. So all of this, what we have just described here, believe it or not, this is what I call my Social Security and income plan. Okay. Social Security and the income plan. So if you're listening and you're driving around, or maybe you're listening on our podcast and you're like, I don't have anything close to this. My current advisor, or if you're self-managing, you're like, I got nothing. When I look at my statement, it's stuff we've been in for 10, 20, 30 years now. It's a 60-40 model. It's, when I ask about my concerns of running out of money or hey, do we need to do anything different in retirement? I just get you're going to be fine.
Stay the course. You're okay.
Yeah. Just stay the course. We'll make a few adjustments, but you're going to be fine. You got $2 million. Oh, you're fine. Or you got $1 million. You're fine. You deserve more. And I'm sure you're wanting to see on paper how is this going to work?
Right.
Where's my income going to come from? What if the markets crash? I mean, is there a portion of my portfolio that's going to be okay when, not if, we have our next crash? Because you're probably going to have 2 or 3 major crashes. You think, in the next maybe 20 to 30 years of your life here, we're probably going to see several of them.
Right.
Okay. So we have to have a portfolio where you've got certain guarantees, some protections in there. And that's what this Social Security and Income Plan Review does. So if you've saved $500,000 or more, if you're within 5 years of retirement, it is time to put this plan into place, because you're probably thinking, okay, gosh, I don't want to make these retirement plans without knowing how much I've got to spend every month.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We need to know a few things in retirement, several things, but these are just the minimum. Okay.
Right.
So pick up the phone. Our number is 843-890-2400. 843-890-2400. You can call or text that number. My assistant, Tanya, this is not an AI Tanya. Okay. I thought about that the other day. I'm like, they probably think, who is Tanya?
Right. Tanya the computer.
Tanya lives in Mount Pleasant, and you'll meet her when you come to the office. So you can text Tanya. You can call her right now. She is standing by. You can text the word income plan, 2 words, income plan, to Tanya, and we will know exactly what you're looking for, what you've been missing all these years as you've been trying to plan for retirement. 843-890-2400.
Thanks for listening to Charleston's Retirement Coach Podcast with Brandon Bowen. To learn more, visit bowenwealth.com and join Brandon for his radio show, Charleston's Retirement Coach, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 94.3 WSC.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Brandon Bowen is licensed in your state, please call 843-203-2030. J. Brandon Bowen is an investment advisor representative of Bowen Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate, and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. J. Brandon Bowen is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Bowen Wealth, LLC, insurance licensed in South Carolina. Market Guard is a registered investment advisor with the SEC and provides model portfolios only to Impact Partnership Wealth. Market Guard makes no implied warranties or representations and is not liable for any data presented.